favorite cartoon characters and favorite cartoons. Bugs Bunny. While good old Bugs is certainly among the best American cartoons, I don't often hear people discuss the worst of Bugs' escapades. With nearly a century of adventures behind him, Bugs has had his share of not-so-good cartoons. So as much as I love and respect Looney Tunes, let's have some fun and look back at the top 6 worst Bugs Bunny cartoons. And if you like these cartoons, I totally understand. Take this list with a pinch of salt, because Bugs Bunny is awesome. Also, I've tried to avoid using clip shows, so each cartoon is poor quality on its own right. Anyway, on to the countdown. Bugs Bunny busting out.
No more teachers' dirty looks. Yahoo!
The 1980s was not a great time for our pal Bugs.
Too bad.
Mel Blanc was 72 and understandably struggling a bit with the energy after doing Bugs' voice for over half a century. This guy was a freaking legend. Anyway, I can't think of a better example of every joke in a Bugs Bunny cartoon falling so inoffensively flat. We start with seeing an insipid, flavorless flashback to Bugs Bunny running out of school as a kid and running into Elmer Fudd with a pop gun, where they proceed to perform some of the most listless antics I've ever seen from the great Chuck Jones and Mel Blanc. Again, it's understandable. It was the 1980s, and this legendary duo had been doing this since the 1930s. Of course the jokes aren't going to be as fresh as they were 50 years ago.
Gravity. Oh, that's all right. We haven't studied gravity yet.
As well as this, Chuck and Mel ran into some new stringent, family-friendly rules in the 80s that meant Warner Brothers could no longer let Elmer Fudd get shot in the face with a rifle or impact the ground with a blam. Generally, the camera will have the character shot or blown up off-screen, if at all, which unfortunately completely destroys the comedic value. In fact, Bugs outright saves Elmer Fudd from the fall he sets up.
Don't worry, the spring is here. Why, thank you very much, Mr. Weber.
Which is very nice of him, but it doesn't make for a very funny joke. Bugs Bunny busting out is completely inoffensive, but in the process completely takes the teeth out of Bugs' antics. But this one's at the start of the list because, although the jokes don't work, I feel like I'm watching Mel Blanc and Chuck Jones reflect on the last half a century.
I'm glad that I'm not young anymore. But you know, that Elmer and I were the youngest people to ever start chasing each other.